We've been talking about the big setback for Lupin and Zydus as they've, lost Myrbetriq case in the US federal court. That explains why the stocks are lower. What are the details for which we have Vinnii joining in? Vinnii.
Hi, so we have both these stocks that are in focus. Now, just to throw back to what was happening. Previously, US FDA had now cleared this Myrbetriq case that was going on against the innovator that is Astellas Pharma with Lupin, Zydus as well as Sandoz. Now, obviously, that clearance had come in, so they launched the product. Now, today what we understand is that the US federal court has given the order in favor of the main company, that is the Innovator, and Lupin and Zydus have lost the case for this Myrbetriq drug. Now, Myrbetriq is an important drug, generic drug that comes in for Lupin and Zydus. Why is that so? Because the estimated sales of this, according to analysts, was around $35 million. This was quarterly sales. So, on a yearly basis, if you look at it, around $100 million that they would be making on this drug. This was for Zydus, while Lupin was estimated around $25 to $30 million per quarter. So, important drug update coming in on that front. And that is why today we are seeing a bit of a fall coming in, actually a sharp fall coming in the stock price as well of both these companies after this announcement has come in.
Thank you so much, Vinnii, for joining us, giving us the details of what exactly is dragging both Lupin as well as Zydus lower. Well, to discuss more on this, Vishal Manchanda, pharma analyst at Systematix Groups, joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us, Vishal. Vishal, the first question, Mira background, was being looked at as a very significant opportunity for both Zydus as well as Lupin. How big of a setback is this? What are the kind of EPS cuts you will now have to take? And if you could also give us a sense of, what were the sales that the company had seen post the at-risk launch? What is it that they will have to give back to the innovator?
Right. So a very meaningful drug for both Lupin and Zydus. I think this was a larger drug for Zydus than it was for Lupin. I think probably 2 to 3x larger for Zydus than it was for Lupin. I think in terms of earnings impact, it should impact the FY26 earnings, while the impact on FY27 earnings will not be very meaningful, but there will be some impact because of lower cash on the balance sheet. So, as you said, we should expect penalties that Zydus and Lupin might have to pay to the innovator. But before that, probably they'll appeal the court's decision and try to kind of put a case here at a higher court. In case they lose in case they lose even the higher court, probably I can think of a 1x penalty on whatever they have done in sales. So that's how I look at the situation here. FY27 estimates should not change too much, but we'll see an impact on FY27 a bit.
Okay, analysts said, it was close to $25 to $30 million dollars per quarter in terms of sales coming in for both these companies. How much would you have to revise your earnings and estimates downwards because of this? And is this the final order that has come in, or are there any further legal recourses that the company can take?
There's a recourse. Probably the company can go for a higher court appeal here. So we'll wait and see what the company does. But if they don't, then probably we should hear on the penalties whether they need to pay the penalties or not. Generally, it is 1x of sales is what we have seen in the past. The penalties.
In your scenario analysis, if it is 1x the penalty, then what could the EPS impact be?
So that will be a one-off impact. So I think in terms of the earnings contribution, I think there are two parts of the impact. One is the lost earnings, FY26, the lost earnings on account of this, and the second would be the impact on account of the penalties. So impact on account of the lost earnings for Zydus, it should be around 25-30% of the sales. 25-30% of the EPS, and for Lupin, it should be around 10-12% of the EPS. While because of the one-off impact, it will be a higher number, say around 35% of earnings, and for Lupin it should be 15 to 20% of earnings because of the one-off penalty.
Thank you so much, Vishal, for joining us. No wonder then we can see quite a sharp correction on both of the stocks today. Mira background was seen as a significant opportunity. But as we now slip into a short break, here's some good news for our viewers. India's business news leader is now just a click away. Introducing CNBC TV 18's all-new app. Get instant access to breaking news, in-depth articles, and financial world updates at your fingertips. Download the CNBC TV 18 app now from the Apple Store or Google Play Store, or just scan the QR code on your screen.